Well, hey, my Insta loves. I'm just gonna dive right into this video, okay? Why it's very clear with me. I've been ruminating and going through a number of different things, and today I want to speak about the shadow side of our existence. And the reason why I want to is because I've been dealing with my own shadow side, unbeknown to me, right? And the funny thing is, I have been having these episodes where I was dealing with this underlying ego. Now, mind you, it's suppressed. It's something that I only know of me, and it's very dark, and it's beyond judgy. It's almost terrifying aspect of me within my thought process, and I don't know all of a sudden where it came from and how it surfaced. And there's a clinical psychologist that I am very fond of and that I love. His name is Jordan Peterson out of Canada. And I've listened to a number of his talks and his YouTube channel and read a little bit of his material, but I'm fascinated with this dude, right? And I hadn't listened to him in a while, and all of a sudden, synchronicity, all of a sudden, I started getting back into him. And what I've been going through it's been happening, I would say, for beyond some weeks. It's been going on for some time, maybe some months, but now it's compounded, like contractions, right? And Jordan Peterson starts talking about the shadow. I'm like, okay. Now, for you all that may not know, if you've had a psychology class, and if you know anything about Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung, and I'm more of a fan of Carl Jung. I think Sigmund Freud was just Luciferian. You have to understand, the majority of psychology is based off of his teachings, and this dude was a sick F, all right? And from my understanding, even did some work with the Nazis, whatever, right? We're not even going to get into my conspiracy theory mind, but Carl Jung, he's the one that defined out synchronicities and things of that sort. He's more of a nurturing, softer side of the psychological aspect. And in my opinion, not so much edging out God, edging out Christ, all right? Because I believe with psychology, there needs to be a balance, or you start getting Dr. Moreau's Island, all right? Because they start playing these mental mind F games with you. And with people, look at our psych meds. So I've been having these contractions, mental contractions, and I mean, even to the point if someone cut me off in traffic, it's like, why be like, it'd be nice if your car flipped. Like, that's dark. If someone rudely crossed me in the store, the thoughts I would have, and I view myself as a very compassionate, nurturing person. Now, mind you, if for you all that do know me, I'm very no nonsense. I understand I can, as I was told today, I can be abrasive. I don't find me to be abrasive. I find me to be assertive. I find myself to be willing to take risks, confident, but not abrasive. I'm abrasive to people who lack self-confidence and want me to coddle them. There's a difference, right? So I went back, some of you all, I have another YouTube channel. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I have a whole nother company, because I have some haters that like to follow me, right? You're just going to have to figure it out, honey, so you can give me some more thumbs downs. And I was talking to them in reference to this gig economy, because some of you all know I have multiple enterprises. I'm building multiple companies, but my primary practice is writing and life coaching. That is my passion, writing and life coaching, okay? But writing, until I get on the New York Times bestsellers list and I get a book published, I have to work traditional jobs and I have to do gig economies, which I don't mind because I love working the gig economy. I love being able to diversify my income. Yes, I have my clients and things of that sort, and I run my personal training company with the plus size fitness and the nutrition and things of that sort. I like that. But if I had to survive solely on that, I could not, right? Because it's so temporal. All right, it goes up and down. It's a roller coaster. It migrates so much. So I went back to a traditional job, outside of me Ubering and doing, not Instacart. I'm always talking about these other enterprises, but I do a few gig economy type jobs, right? That bring me immediate cash that I'm a real big fan of. I love it. If some of you all follow my other channel or went to my other pages where I post, you have to understand I can Uber for 20, 30 hours and literally make $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So I teach other people how, and other entrepreneurs, how to diversify their income so that they can build their companies, they can build their brands when a traditional job is just not going to allow you to do it. And I refuse to go to a traditional job or back to one. I can easily be making $70,000, $80,000 with rent. But I'm an entrepreneur and I'm living this shit to be true. Almost 2 years, and which is really good. I've always been an entrepreneur, but I'm talking about the real deal. Like, okay, all right, Repo Man may be looking for my truck. I might get evicted this month. That type of entrepreneurship, when you just believe solely in your passion and in your dream. And I'm at the point now, I've had so many miracles that I don't question that I'm on the right path. It's dealing with the uncomfortability of it all. But I've even learned to embrace that. What I haven't learned is how to deal with my shadow self all the way. And it's so ironic because I got another client, for life coaching practice, a girl who's under a lot of psychological treatment right now. But she wants me, and I'm willing to help once she stay on her meds, right? And I love the fact I can give so much resolution to others, but I still have to deal with my own demons, right? And I took on a job, this temporary job, which is in a corporate setting. I'm in a corporate job, and I get paid a lot of money for this corporate job, but it's a seasonal gig. And I have my credentials were so great. They gave me a job, no experience. I learned the job like that, been dominating in it. But I'm in a traditional corporate setting, and that's hard for someone who's been in management prior to, someone who's always prided herself on the ability to lead and govern others fairly, justly. I passionately believe in that. And to be dropped in a setting where all that is stripped from you, which I'm cool with because I can be humble. Y'all have to understand, I've worked in a cafe, I've worked in a juice bar. If they told me to go shovel shit for $20, I'll go do it, all right? Pride in that retrospect is out the door. Run me my money, pay me. And we ain't gonna have no words. But I'm dealing with personalities. And if you know me overall, even though I'm very charismatic and I've trained my extrovert personality, but if you know me, I'm primarily introverted in the aspect of I'm not shy, I'm not passive aggressive or nothing like that. I'm a person that goes inward. I am a deep thinker. I'm very soulful natured. You know, I tend to listen and see everything. I'm very observant. I read people's souls and their spirit. I see people. And that sometimes, as my father had said, he said, Nunu, sometimes you're going to have to learn how to shut that off. And it's hard for me to shut it off, right? But going back to the shadow self. So the shadow self and I was like, wait, why is all these thoughts and this aggravation? What is this hostility? What is this? And what the shadow self was showing me, which basically in Christian translation is those underlying sinful nature of you, that bitterness, that resentment. I had to realize, and I hope I don't cry right here because this is a very transparent moment for me. I called one of my friends, Amber. I've been cursing, going all off, today, back and forth with her. And she's a great friend. I don't like to talk about signs, but she's an Aquarius, so they tend to be locked. They'll listen to you, right? And I'm talking to her and going back and forth, and I'm battling, And I called her, and I realized what it was. See, the resentment, the bitterness, the anger, even when I told my mother knew I was dealing with something. I called her last night. She said, "What's wrong, baby girl?" I said, "Ma, I just don't have patience for incompetence. Anyone that's worked with me and you watch this video, you know that. Don't play stupid and don't be stupid. I'll educate you, but I don't have time for incompetence. There are people professionally trained for that, not me. And I'm dealing with these because it's an all-female environment, corporate. And I'm like, this is so petty. What's this and that? And I'm angry. I'm really resentful. I'm thinking horrible thoughts, and I realize something. That shadow self and all that resentment and bitterness, it's becoming more apparent. There's a number of things that I have suppressed. I suppressed out of my own fears. But what's particularly from when I got laid off, all right? I still had a lot of resentment there when my whole division got laid off and I walked away. But worse than that, because that I'm like, okay, all right. But within the leadership and within the constructs of that environment and what I see other people doing, and I'm judging. I'm like, what? This is not professional. This is this, and that. And it was like the Holy Spirit showed me, it says, you know what you're really mad at within that shadow self? Because let me tell you something about the shadow. The shadow is oftentimes reflected through the actions of others. Let me say that again. The shadow is often reflected through the actions of others. And what we see in them that we despise, that we hate, that we're angered by, and we hope they fall off a bridge, is nothing more than what we at some time have displayed ourselves. And that hurt me. And I was very angry and resentful to these. I'm like, these people are idiots. Why I gotta work for some idiots? I mean, they pay me good, but these some idiots. And God's like, whoa. You may be right there. But I'm trying to show you something. I'm trying to show you you. Not because this is what you're currently doing, but this is what you need to repent from. Because not only has what you're seeing is something that is being done to you, but Kimberly, I wanted you, because of the position and how I'm aligning you up in this season and where I'm taking you and the millions that you're going to get. No hundreds of thousands, whatever. I'm not really caught up on that. I just need to be paid nicely. Where I'm taking you, I can't afford you to do this again to someone. And then I started seeing snippets within my leadership from years past. Now I had to develop but I never repented. I never reviewed it with the perspective that I have now. And now that I have the perspective, I have to right my wrong. I can never right the wrong personally to a lot of people, because some people, one of the prayers I said to God, I was like, Lord, if I've done this with what I'm seeing, if I've done this to other people, I beg of you, forgive me, because I couldn't imagine someone feeling the way that I feel and seeing me in the light and how I'm judging other people. And the judgment's fine, because we judge all the time. So we should be judging anyway. No, we can judge. You have no problem with someone judge and assess your character and say it's good. So shit, I can say yours is bad too. I mean, it's a two-way street, honey. And I had to see my own character at one point. And though I've grown from it, I never acknowledged it. And I was in tears on the phone with my friend. I said, Amber, I think the ego in me do not want to accept this. It does not want to accept that I was just as bad. It does not want to accept that I wasn't willing to take leadership. It does not want to admit the fact that I too at some point in my life was jealous or insecure at someone else's superiority. Deal with your shadow. We all have it. I know my ego. I know my pride. I know my fault lines. And I have to be honest. And even more than that, because I've come so far, y'all, I've come so far. I told God, I was driving down the street, I said, you know what? I'm angry at this and I'm angry at that. And I remember literally saying, I'm angry that I'm even angry. I could talk to God like that, right? I said, but most importantly, God, I'm angry with myself. And as I started to unveil in that sense, I started to be kind of release some of my resentment. Because the minute someone shows a micro expression of some shit I don't like, the horns come up out of this Taurus's head. You hear me? I see red. But I can't fight everybody. I can't argue with everybody. I can't check everybody. I ain't gonna lie. I'm on my, not Tony Montana, but Don Corleone. We watched The Godfather. And Michael Corleone. I love being cool. I don't want to be taken out of my character. And that's why a lot of people, if you know me and I get angry, I get very quiet. I don't say nothing. I fade to black. It's not always the best resort, but that's what I do because my mouth, you know. I like to reflect and think because sometimes what angers us is nothing more than something that we hate within ourselves. And that was a conclusion that I came to today. And some of these people that was aggravating the hell out of me were nothing more than the reflections of the very things that I despise within myself, that I never dealt with, that lied within my shadow. So thank God for deliverance. I won't say I'm fully delivered because I thought I had came such a far way. But look, even as a coach, I'm growing too. And sometimes we don't want to see those aspects. And I told God, I was like, man, I'm tired. Like, there's still more in me. There's still more gunk. I should have known. I was having sleepless nights, and I started eating in my sleep, which was a clear sign. Okay, you're stressed. Something's going on. I know my triggers. So it may be time for another fast, my loves. I may need to fast for an extensive amount of time. I'll pick the date, but I'm thinking I'm gonna pick up the juice fast again. I felt so clear-minded, so free, so open, so cognizant. And if my shadow is as wicked as what I've seen, and it's just been a smidget, because let me tell you something about the shadow. The shadow, in my opinion, and shadow don't mean it has to totally be evil. It can be, you could just be a pushover. You can be someone who's just agreeable all the time, but you're suppressing, and that's bad because at some point it's gonna topple over. I call it, the shadow can be like roaches. If you ever had roaches, I had a roommate that had roaches. Honey, roaches are like insect rats. I could take a spider, but honey, I see a roach, I'm the hell up out of there, right? And I was like, I gotta get out of here. And the reason why is because when you see, if you ever went to someone's house that got roaches, when you see a roach, you know damn well it's not just one roach. You know, one roach, 1 to 4 roaches, if you see 1 to 4 roaches, and they're different ones, right? If you see 1 to 4 roaches, you know, okay, 1, that's 1,000, 2, 2,000, 3, 3,000, 4. You know they're lined behind the walls. They're nocturnal. They don't come out in the light. When they come out in the light, they just bold. They just don't give a shit because it's like the buffet. It's like Golden Corral. They're like, man, come on. We know we don't like the light, but let's get this. Okay? And I think the shadow is like that. It can be grotesque. And it knows the kind of, when the light is shined upon it, it does that shit. Like a roach. I guess I need to deal with my roaches. And I'm pretty sure y'all got some roaches that need dealt with too. Now, if you want me to help you with your roaches, y'all reach out to me, okay? I'm actively taking clients. And we can do this together. I'm good at my job. I'm good coaching. But I want you to understand the coach also requires a coach. I hold myself accountable to people. Don't, even if you don't use me, don't hire someone that's not accountable to somebody else. Okay? We all have to answer to someone here within this plane. And personally, I think you should have 3 people. But ultimately, we have to answer to Christ. Whether you believe that or not, okay? We have to answer to God, ultimately. And he chases those that he loves. And he must really love me, because I mean, dang. He be getting in my butt. Y'all know I don't get away with nothing. But he chases those that he loves. And I feel loved, because this is how we gain wisdom. This is how we gain intestinal fortitude. And this is how we develop the true self. This is how you get your mojo and your power. This is how you stop being a coward. Okay? So, let's deal with that shadow. Until next time, my loves. I love you, love you, love you.